Thailand, a lucky country blessed with sunshine, a warm climate, pristine beaches, national parks, and numerous cultural heritage sites.
ค่าฝุ่น PM 2.5 สูงเกินมาตรฐานหลายพื้นที่
มีปริมาณฝุ่นมากที่สุดในตัวเลขพุ่งขึ้นไปถึง98ไมโครกรัมต่อลูกบาศก์เมตรมีผลกระทบต่อสุขภาพไฟไหม้ไปแล้วมากกว่า300ไร่
Like many other countries, Thailand also faces challenges in waste management, especially when hosting tens of millions of tourists annually prior to COVID-19. Thailand has a long history of sustainable development inspired by King Rama IX's self-sufficiency philosophy. Global trends in sustainable development and circular economy have brought Thailand to the spotlight. This short video gives you a glimpse of our findings on Thailand's circular economy leadership practices, covering sectors of agriculture and food, plastic and packaging, textile, and building and construction, and showcase how the community can drive circular economy transformation.
Knowledge that we provide is really in the mindset.
We are business enterprise company.
I think circularity is in our traditions.
Why are we talking about circular economy now? Let us have a look at the cotton t-shirt we wear every day and follow its life cycle. Cottons are grown in China, India, and the USA. Cotton fibers are processed, spun into yarn to produce fabric and clothes, mainly in China and other developing countries. Major Western brands provide the design, and their branded clothes are shipped from developing countries where production costs are low to the developed world. In today's fast fashion, post-consumed clothes are shipped back to China for recycling. But in January 2018, China enacted its national sword policy to ban 24 categories of waste, including plastics, textile, unsorted paper, and more. And this has been one of the critical turning points of the global circular economy movement that we see today. We could no longer export our production and consumption waste and close the loop within our community, city, region, country, and the world. So how shall we close the loop? Let us go to Thailand and find out. Agriculture is one of the main pillars of Thailand's economy, blessed with a warm climate and fertile land. Thailand is also well known for its delicious food, and organic food has been gaining popularity. We feature here practices of zero waste in food production and processing, especially the upcycling of food waste to value-added products.
I have observed since I was very young that my grandparents and my parents, we really practice zero waste. We use things until the end of its life, and we find a creative way to make use of it. The Thai traditional lifestyle and our culture, I think circularity is in our tradition.
I think Bangkok is lovely. It's livable. There are a lot of greens, a lot of clean air, space. But 20 years later, Bangkok has changed dramatically.
Over the past 20 years, that this industrialization sort of get us spoiled in using all these resources, and we create a lot of waste.
Dairy farming in Thailand, they use too much chemical. They cannot depend on themselves.
As a consumer, we don't have a right to choose. You need to be rich to be able to afford the organic ingredient.
I'm part of the problem and also part of the solution. Center One is one of the very good friends. There are about 30 restaurants in one building. So more waste, 400 kilos per day. Eventually, we decided, oh, maybe we can make a farm, trying to make a pilot project. The first year, we learned how to do it. Now it's second year.
The dairy home started like a small project to encourage the farmer to start organic dairy farming in Thailand. Reduce the dependence on the others. The first 3 months is really tough, but another month, the cows themselves, they adapt. They produce a little bit more, maybe 60-70% of their own production. Not only that, the health of the cows in the farm going better. The ecosystem is recovering. And the best part is the farmer is happier. They feel healthy and they feel safety to drink their own milk.
Through our work on sea change, we aim to indirectly contribute to 4 UN SDGs, namely number 1, goal number 2, zero hunger because we are a food company. Number 2, SDG number 8 on decent work and economic growth. Thirdly, SDG number 13 on climate actions. Goal number 14 on life below water. Since the launch of Sea Change first phase, we have reduced waste to landfill by about 67%. Consumption of water is reduced by about 22%. Greenhouse gas emission from our facilities is reduced by 18%.
We try to closing the loop of the circular economy. So we bring the SDG 12 to be the main single part of this fundamental concept of the sustainable consumption platform.
Our dream is to make the organic food become common for everyone. So that's the starting point that we changing to organic ingredient. When we trying to sourcing for the organic ingredient, so we have to go out to find the farmers. When we start knowing one, they just connecting us to others. We learn the way of their life and what's the difficulty that they face as a farmer trying to be sustainable. The main reason that it must have to be more expensive because of the time, cost of operation, cost of the food. Our point of view change that we can help the farmer to encourage them and to give them support that they keep working in the organic way. If something that is our food waste, it can give to the farmer and become value for them. When we buy directly with farmers and cut the middleman, we get the cheaper price.
The young people come and learn by doing. Finally, they name their own business called Bangkok Rooftop Farming Social Enterprise. We bring in the life. We turn the food waste into soil in the future, but a good soil. The farm itself is the circular farm business because we upcycling the food waste, revalue the food waste, reducing the carbon footprint, the environmental impact from the climate change. This is an action that everyone can do.
The need came from the consumer to sustain where they have need, they have supply. This is the market move. Not only reduce the impact, Dairy Home try to create the positive impact to the ecosystem. Not only zero waste, we use the term upcycling. If we have the milk that we cannot consume, we collect every drop of milk, grow the algae, let the artemia eat the algae, and when the artemia grow, we put the artemia into the shrimp pond in a closed loop. No waste, we collect everything. Every single farm who change to be the organic farmer, we can reduce chemical fertilizer 100 kg per rice per year. This is one of my challenges to encourage more consumer. I also encourage the farmer who can do their own way. Right now we have a proof, we have a solution. Farmer can go here and learn. Don't wait for me because Dairy Home is just a small factory.
One of the principles of the circular economy is to reduce food waste. Tuna is not only used food for human consumption. Different parts can be utilized for different purposes.
We set target of the coal-free operation by 2022. We use the cooked oil from our food factory to generate the biodiesel. We set the target of the 2030 with a zero food waste to landfill. We achieved the low carbon reduction level by 50% compared to other chicken food industry of Thailand.
So what you eat is not only for human, but is applied to the animal, to vegetable as well. It's the same. Before COVID, we arranged the organic market once a month. We will invite our farmer friends to have a session and workshop for our consumer to get to know them, to the life behind the ingredient. Our purpose is to make people have awareness about the safety food.
Without importing anything, you can sustain. If farmer can survive, we can survive.
To make it sustain, we just have to be friends and to collaborate.
Focus on circular economy, but the broader sustainability issues and problems, you cannot work alone. To achieve circularities, you need to look forward to collaborating with government agencies, our industry partners, suppliers, or civil society organizations.
So we cannot work alone. We need a partnership as the SDG 17, the partnership for goals. So this kind of the circular economy, we could not circular ourselves alone.
Food usually comes with packaging. Plastic packaging waste has become one of the biggest polluters of Thailand's land and sea. Some of the leading corporations as well as SMEs are addressing the plastic packaging challenge.
They got to have an honest mind that they really love the world. We cannot force people to love the world. You got to make this into their life.
Do something little by little. Let them know, hey, this one is the most important one that we have to change our world, change our behavior. We set up our company for the bioplastic. PBS, from sugar, we try to make this a closed loop.
We try to invest in the new technology, not only in the machinery, but also in the people.
Flexible packaging, sachet, snacks that you buy. Normally the flexible packaging contains many types of materials. We also come up with mono-material solutions to preserve the food, but at the same time can be recyclable. And also we also partnering with the global brand owners that we are developing the PCR product now. It's called PCR, it stands for Post-Consumer Recycled Resins. It's under the final testing, commercially launched within first quarter this year.
We have done a lot of research and development. We also produce a lot of environmental friendly film. The raw material is come from the used cooking oil. Later on, we use the new technique called chemcycling, make it from a mixed plastic waste to the green naphtha again and to make the polyamide. Actually, for BOPP, we make a bio-base. We use the resin that they make it from ethanol, from the plant base. We hope that soon we can launch it in Thailand.
Because recycle the own waste, there are a lot of challenges which come to the cost. Kind of regulation if you push innovations, if you push the behavior change. Otherwise, just only decide, not going to work. And I'm glad that Thailand right now, the government making a move on regulations. The PET bottle that you can easily separate. And then the other plastic is come together is okay. As long as it doesn't pollute with the food.
The cup that we sold in the Amazon cafe, normally we have the blue card. We try to encourage our people to change the coffee cup to be score or something that they can get benefit, and try to let them know we will make the recycle by use the PET cup or coffee cup. Exactly, we have an RDF to make them produce the energy. Some of them we try to make it more green, like a degradable. Try to put in the earth, and also some of them we try to recycle. For example, the PET plastic we use and to be the t-shirt or whatever that we can. Right now, as you know, we already have the machine to collect the PET cup and try to recycle them. We have very good information, very good data, and then we can see, hey, how much that we can close the loop.
Thailand, we produce at least 2 million tons of plastic waste. There are mostly single-use plastic that cannot be recycled, but at surplus, eventually, we'll be able to recycle them. And what makes us really unique is the fact that we can accept diverse type of plastic waste. So we started from collection all the way to the end. We can collect plastic waste both from consumers, whether they are individual consumers or organizational consumers like companies or offices, recycle those materials into recycled plastic pellets, then resell those plastic pellets back to the company that give us the waste or to manufacturers. We have been exploring partnership with several companies so that we can collect more waste and help them from not going into landfill.
As a part of the plastic producer, maybe we can do something about it, that we can influence the people to think about the climate changes as well. We try to use different varieties of materials. Fishing nets, which is PA6, which is not widely used in the market. We use a recycled PP. We use recycled PET. We need to keep doing this to more and more communities.
We are trying to set up an incentive system where plastic users who donate plastic to us actually get points which they can accumulate to exchange for rewards like services or products. Go to Facebook, you'll find us. You can send your plastic waste to us. We have an address on there. You can mail them to us or you can come by at our office. We focus on educating consumers on how to get plastic ready.
After we don't have a distributor, we change the model to the sales agent, so we move a bit closer to the consumers. Now we have our own website and then we can communicate directly to the customers.
The pain point of plastic industry right now is the fact that it's still really costly to recycle plastic. This is because waste still come in condition that is really difficult to process, so you will have to go through a lot of sorting and cleaning.
You know, with a country like us that we don't have such a good recycling system, but you clean it, you send it to the right source where they can collect it and then they can recycle it. There are like different group of people who are trying to help. We don't really see them as competition because I think the more people do it and the more better for the world.
With enormous textile and plastics waste on the planet, imagine we are able to produce new clothes using recycled fiber and yarns without using any virgin materials. A Bangkok-based SME SC Grand, a third-generation textile waste recycling company growing into an ASEAN textile recycling hub, does exactly that.
Tanneries, you'll see baseball, like football stadiums of leather that no one used and no one knows exists.
When you produce the yarn, you also have the waste from the yarn factory, which is the fiber. And then when you're weaving the fabric, you also have the cellulose waste in the fabric as well, in the weaving factory. And then it's come to the garment factory. When you're stitching, you also have the cutting waste for the garment factory.
We have a fabric that is stuck inside the export garments, right? Normally, people don't get these fabrics anywhere. We call it surplus fabric or lonely fabric.
We, as makers ourselves, designers, find a way to keep it sustained for another generation.
If we talk about the zero waste or where did I get the waste, I have to say thank you to my grandparents because they have the strong network go back like 55 years ago.
I have found that we're becoming the new sourcing. So we're building a network of sourcing from many factories and who have the pain point. And at the same time, we're building the network of production lines, networks of designers.
I brought those kind of waste and transformed into fiber, new fabric, and new clothes again.
What adds value is design. Customers come in, sit her down, open a shop full of leather, and have her really choose, okay, I like this shade of it. She can choose the thread she likes, the size of the bag should be based on what we already have.
What Philip's design philosophy has always been is to merge where we can traditional with what's really made for the future or now.
Like Indigo is like the starting point because it's go to a remote place, discover knowledge, find a sustainable way, modernize it. And if we can be successful with Indigo, I think there's so many others.
Every part of construction has its price, which comes from waste in production. Fortunately, these people start to have product and service which could help on this.
I'm an architect. I build buildings. I remove mountains, I cut down forests to build buildings. So I use a lot of resources. And I'm still, dumping landfill with my stuff. So I migrate my attention from energy efficiency, water efficiency to material efficiency.
I don't think it's about making things look better. We should look at how the actual products are made. We could use more like locally produced materials, or we could look into creating materials that could be completely recyclable. When we assemble something, we should look at how we could disassemble it easily as well. So I discovered that a lot of hotels, resorts, dormitories and other, they had issues they didn't really have a way to deal with used mattresses.
Eventually, I started my own business. Upcycle scrap from construction projects, turn them into materials. So I created a company called Osisu in 2006. Turn those materials into furniture, into fashion accessories. And that's the beginning of products from scrap.
Mattress recycling is not really financially viable, so no one is doing it. A lot of hotels, they want to eliminate their upfront investment. Hospitality business is a long-term business, so they prefer to rent instead of paying for something upfront. So at Non-On, we provide mattress subscription or rental service. So it's a long-term, between 5 to 10 years. They get to have high-quality mattresses without having to invest upfront. At the end, we retrieve the mattresses, we take them apart and recycle the components.
My model is you have to create these upcycling activities and you must create demand at the same time so that it becomes circular. And that's the reason why I set up with amazing support from MTDC, Research and Innovation for Sustainability Center. It's a public research lab that create all these product innovation and solutions for well-being property development. And that's a chance when I turn all these upcycled materials, turn them into construction. I would say well-being town, the forestier.
Polyurethane foams cannot be easily recycled or broken down. So we're looking at breaking down the foams chemically into what is called polymonomer. Polymonomers could be used to feed various petrochemical industries.
We do that. We have in construction materials, we have one startup called Knock Knock. It's a platform that all the building materials you can find in. It's like a marketplace. Of course, we have SG products too, but not only us, we have others. And then people can shop. And building materials, definitely in the future, we would see more recycled content in that. There is a liability of the product. We have to take care of that too.
After all, we couldn't accomplish circular economy easily without all these technologies.
I call it circular economy platform. If you think about waste problem, it's caused by a capitalist economy, which means that you need to build more, you need to consume more, you need to take more, and then you get rich. That's how many you take earth resource. That's how many you make the waste. So if you want to fix waste problem, you have to change the economy system to circular economy. Circular economy have three stakeholders like producer, consumer, and recycler. KMUTT is here to connect the dot between them. Consumer is the major group of this problem, so I make them more convenient, like they can separate their waste easier by scan their product barcode. This is what I'm proud to present. This is circular bin. We want to change every bin to select the specific waste. Currently, we in partnership with CPO 7-Eleven and OR PTT station. The more future is sponsorship of brand. Brand can make the campaign like if you recycle 10 cans, you will take the point.
Thai people, 2 out of 7 or 20 million of them spend $8.3 billion US dollar or 250 billion baht every year on lottery. So they really love this game of chance. We figure if we can convert low value recyclable waste into something that they can win big, then perhaps people will start recycling with trash talking. We want to make a millionaire out of people who recycle. So the way that people participate in our program is they first sort recyclables. We incentivize people to recycle, and then we sell the materials to the recycler, and then we take part of revenue. So we do install our recycling bins at your communities, such as condos, schools, residential communities. So if you're interested, please let us know. We also provide educational workshops. We are working with KX. So at the end of this month, on Saturday, 30th October, we are holding a drive-through recycling. So you can basically sort your recyclables at home and then drop it off on this particular day between 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Turning to PPEs, we're targeting to donate 1,500 PPEs.
If Kun Prem said his platform is like Uber, mine is very much like Tinder. We're matching the people who produce waste, like consumers, factories, industrial waste, and also from offices and everything, and then turn them and match them with the designers, and then turn them into new products. Because I think that's pretty much the only way to survive doing recycling business.
To accelerate the transition to a circular economy, we need new business strategy and technology and business innovation.
In the future, let's say no matter what kind of business you are doing, there will be two main contexts that you have to focus. First is sustainability. Another one is digitalization.
You need to think of the sustainability is not the expense. It is about the investment. Yeah. So if you think about the investment, for the investment we need to reduce the cost of production, increase or generate the revenues, and then create some innovation.
We invest and develop a lot in the mono-material plastic. That's to group it in the less and less group, not to be more variable, so it's easier for the recycling.
So we integrate three factors using integration of technologies, which is paper-coated bioplastic cup co-developed with PTT, a GC company. We come up with cup that the price not that high, reachable, mass production.
Because now we are in the new industry, platforms are very powerful. So I have built a platform that connects the industrial waste.
Now we don't, because it's only made to order for our bags, but then we also have some bags that we produce specifically just for rental. Special bags that people would feel that, okay, I want to rent because I want to use this bag once.
So at Non-On, we provide monthly subscription or rental service to hospitality businesses like hotels, resorts, dormitories, etc.
We have advocating on this concept of bio-circular and green economy, or so-called BCG, as a new economic model. The circular economy concept is one of the key pillars of the BCG. So our office has been proposing this to the government, and luckily the government has set it as a national priority.
Now, like the government just said that the BCG is they give the importance to the BCG models. If they can support by rule and regulation and also incentive something, so it will be help to driven more in this kind of directions.
I think it needs a help from the government. I think the government should set some target that we could earn, so that the company or the stakeholder can follow that target.
We would like to get engagement of the community, of each community working and join hand together to bring up the good thing or innovative idea together.
We involved in setting up the Secretary Office to support this BCG. During the past 10 years, we built the National Life Cycle Inventory database for Thailand, and that data has been used for support several industries.
Now we are using this inventory database to further develop the circular economy database and the circularity metrics. For circularity metrics, we focus on materials flow along the entire supply chain of your product, from resource use, production process to consumption.
Normally people buy what they want buy what they like without knowledge of the background of what they buy, where they come from, who the producers, how the impact of this produce to the world, to the environmental.
But the plastic itself cannot walk into the sea. But why all the waste come to the sea? And I think the problem is the waste management. I think like Thailand doesn't have enough infrastructure to collect the post-consumer waste.
Maybe they can buy the machine that to digest all the 400 kilo food waste, and I agree with that. It's the organic methods that we can use as a fertilizer for farming.
You know what I mean? It's taking old knowledge. It's basically going to I think Indigo is the first project, but it's going somewhere remote and rural, discovering what could be the dying art that's addressing lots of science, and seeing how we can make it sustainable. And sustainable isn't just like good to the earth, but can we as makers ourselves, designers, find a way to keep it sustained for another generation.
ค่ะที่ทำแพลตฟอร์มวิถีไทยขึ้นมาเพราะว่าเราเห็นว่าสินค้างานทำมือของไทยมีเรื่องราวที่น่าสนใจและคุณภาพไม่ได้ด้อยไปกว่าต่างประเทศเลยแต่กลับขายได้ราคาที่ไม่สูงมากเราจึงอยากเป็นหนึ่งช่องทางที่จะนำสินค้าไทยไปขายในต่างประเทศในราคาที่สูงขึ้นก็จะทำให้ชีวิตความเป็นอยู่ของชาวบ้านดียิ่งขึ้นค่ะ
I don't want dairy home to go bigger and bigger and bigger. No, I want to see more organic farms. I want to see more organic consumer in Thailand.
Normally, the waste is not coming nor walking to the sea by itself, but humans. In this world of creativity and innovation, we can't stop this issue. However, what we can do now is to turn this waste into grace. Circular economy won't just take some of us, it's all of us. And now it's time to take action. To drive change, to transition towards a circular economy, we need leadership and partnerships.